assuming it's worth 550 or 500, whatever. But that's not necessarily what we're talking about. We're talking about real estate that cash flows. We're talking about if you bought a house for $500,000, that's fine, as long as you can make enough money. As long as you make enough money on it, that's fine. Then you make enough money on it, and then you buy the house, and you're making money from the rent. By the way, that's one of my biggest things. I love making money from rent. I'm all about rent. I like rent. I like getting rent. I like making money off of rent. It's all good. And that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to make rent. So that's what you should be doing too. So as long as your rent pays for the house, it's all good. There's other ways to buy houses too. Now, there's times where I buy houses and I actually overpay for houses. And some people don't understand this, but I'm overpaying for them because of the way I'm buying them. Sometimes I'm buying them with seller financing. Sometimes I'm buying them with, with a loan from somebody else. And we're going to talk about that in a little while too. We're going to be talking about how private lenders lend you money. By the way, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty on Facebook, so I'm going to take a quick break right now so we can fix some of that stuff over there. So, Glenn, send us to a commercial, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is Larry Steinitz from Investor School.
What's the matter? What's going on there?
We got all our cameras went down.
Oh, okay. How long a break you want here?
No, we'll probably be good. We'll probably be good.
All right, your first caller is Jack in Montgomery.
Okay, put it up.
Okay, he's standing by. Jack in Montgomery.
Okay.
Now I got to take another call.
Okay. Real estate, learn stock option investing, and learn everything you've ever wanted to know about money. 215-876-3002, investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz from Investor Schooling, and you are invited to a special presentation on April 24th. That's right, we're having an all-day presentation with freedom and finances. We're going to have some special guests that are going to talk to you about how to be free with money and how to be free with your life. Make sure you go to the number4mmw.com. That's number4mmw.com. Sign up for tickets right now. You are going to be amazed at this amazing event. 4mmw.com. This is Larry Steinitz, Investor Schooling. This is Larry Steinitz.
All right, you ready to come back after this?
Yeah, we can come back, sure.
All right,
we good, Mike?
back.
Go to investorschooling.com.
Jack in Montgomery is your first.
Class this Thursday and learn how not to be broke. That's right. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. And if you have any questions, you can call us at 215-876-3002. 215-876-3002. Go to investorschooling.com, sign up for this Thursday, and learn how not to be broke. Investorschooling.com. All right, welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. I'm Larry Steinhaus, and I am here, and we were talking about real estate. We were talking about stock options. We're talking about this great event. This event's going to be awesome. Go to 4mmw.com, and you can sign up for this great event. And, of course, as I said before, if you call in at 855-939-1137, you may qualify for a free ticket with a really good question. And I heard a rumor that we have Jack on the line. What's going on, Jack?
Nothing much, Larry. How are you?
All right. What is your awesome question that's going to get you free tickets to our event?
Oh, man, you're putting pressure on me now, buddy. When you were talking about like a house that was going for a certain price and people had to bid higher than the price, and they still weren't getting that offer accepted, does that put more downward pressure on someone who wants to buy and flip, and that the prices are going to be much harder on us as far as achieving our break-even point and a positive cash flow point?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good question. So obviously, you got we got a winner there. But Glenn's going to take your number. But hold on, let's have this conversation first. So here's the answer. So you're talking about. So you do fix and flips now. Is that correct?
Okay.
Do you do fix and flips?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been doing this for how many years?
No.
Oh, you're interested.
I'm interested in doing fix and flips.
Okay. So
and that is one of the things that's keeping me. That's one of the questions that's maybe keeping me out of it and adding to my apprehension about getting involved.
Yeah, you are the reason I brought that topic up. People like yourself. See, there's always a good deal out there. You just have to know how to find a good deal, and you have to be really careful. It doesn't matter what market it is, right? Because if the market's going down or the market's going up, buying the house is the most important. Buying at the right price is the most important thing. You make money when you buy. So if you buy a house, for example, if the house is worth $400,000 and you could buy it at $250,000 and you put $70,000 into it, are you going to make money? Of course, right? So that's what you need to do. You need to do that math early. couple of, look, new investors get in trouble. We could talk about that too. But you need to understand that as long as the numbers make sense, you can buy the house. I'm telling you right now, the way to not buy houses, and probably part of what you're running into, is looking on the MLS for houses. If you're looking on the multiple listing service and you have a real estate agent, you say, hey, Mr. Real Estate Agent, can you find me a really good deal on a house? The second you hang up, they're laughing at you. Because, first of all, two things. Number one, if they're really smart, they'll buy the house themselves if it's a really good deal, right? And number two, there are no really good deals for people calling real estate agents. So if I'm out there and I want to sell my house and I call a real estate agent, that means that I'm not distressed. That means that I can go to a real estate agent and sell my house. So what I want to do is I want to find houses that are not listed on the MLS. I want to find houses that are not listed with real estate agents. I want to find houses on my own. And there's some really great techniques to do that. And some of them are mailing people or calling people or just keeping your ear out, listening to people who might be in trouble. So my suggestion to you, honestly, if you really want to learn this business, come to a free class. We have a free class every Thursday. You can go to investorschooling.com and you can come to a free class, and we talk about it all the time and how you can make money doing this and how you can find houses that are distressed sellers, not distressed houses. By the way, you know the difference between a distressed seller and a distressed house?
No.
So a lot of people think, and it's true, if you see high grass, a lot of real estate investors will say, hey, I see high grass in the middle of the summer, that must be a problem. So it's, and the house, the windows are broken and the windows are boarded up. I'm going to go call the owner of that house. They probably want to sell it. Well, they might want to sell it. That's a distressed house. But a distressed seller is more important. A distressed seller is someone who's in a situation that they need someone to rescue them from. Maybe they're underwater.
Right.
Maybe they owe more money than the house is worth, or maybe they're getting divorced, or maybe they're in the middle of a bankruptcy, and you can help them in that situation. Jack, I totally appreciate your call, man. That was awesome. And stay on the line because Glenn's going to take your phone number, and somebody's going to give you a call back. I'm going to get you those free tickets. Can you make it on the 24th?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you and meeting you. Make sure you say hi to me on that day. If you don't come, unless you come this Thursday, you can still come this Thursday for free. It's either one is fine.
Sounds good. I'll check the schedule.
Sounds good. All right. So anybody else out there with good questions, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. You see how easy it was? Jack just got 2 free tickets, man. It's awesome. This is an amazing event. He's going to see some great people. He's going to learn some great things. So if you want to call in right now and talk about that and talk about anything or ask me any questions, you probably can win some free tickets to this event. All right, 855-939-1137. So one of the things that we were just talking about with Jack is pretty interesting too, and it's a topic that I have is think less about the deal and more about the people. And what I mean by that is you're looking for people to help. You want to help people in a situation. So we all know what's going to happen. We all know that in the next 2 years is probably my prediction, we're going to have a bunch of people who are going to be underwater in their house. We have the people right now who are coming out of the mortgage moratorium, so they weren't paying their mortgages for 6 or 9 months, which, by the way, I've said this several times in the show. What a bad idea that was if you were going to work. If you really were out of work and you really needed to do this, fine. But there are people who go, I'm just not going to pay my mortgage because I don't have to, and that's a mistake. But these are people who are going to be coming out of this mortgage moratorium, and there's 2 things that are going to happen. One is the mortgage company say, okay, you didn't make your payments for 9 months, and now we want the money, which I still can't believe that they're actually doing that. That's insane that they're actually allowing that to happen. They should have immediately said, and every single one should have said the same thing, that they're going to put it on the back of the loan, or they were going to make the payments up somewhere, not just say you got to make the payment back, the whole payment for the last 6 or 9 months. I know people have come to me and said, hey, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know. You got the money? No. Well, you got to figure out how to solve the problem, and that's a tough problem. So those people are going to go into foreclosure. They're not going to be able to get out of their situation, and they're either going to need money to get out of their situation, which, by the way, you could lend them money, and we're going to talk about private lenders in a minute, or you could buy their house from them. If you buy their house from them, sometimes you can solve their problem. Look, I buy houses from people all the time. That have interesting problems. They're underwater in their house. I bought a house from a guy who, great story. I bought a house from a guy. He was going to Iraq at the time. It was a little while back, obviously. He was going to Iraq at the time, and he had this house, and he couldn't sell it. He overpaid for the house. He overmortgaged the house, He overbuilt the house. In other words, like he put a new kitchen in. He had a mortgage on this house of $180,000, and the house wasn't even worth $140,000. And it's a shame that it was. It's just the way it was. It was a bad timing. It was somewhere around, I think it was around 2012 or 2013, whatever it was. And he was in a situation. He needed to go to Iraq. He needed to sell the house. He didn't want to be a landlord from Iraq. I can understand that. And he didn't know what to do. And he put the house up for sale, of course, for the $180,000 that he owed. And I even said to him, I said, look, even if you got $180,000 and no one in their right mind is going to pay that, even if you got $180,000, you'd still have to come to closing with at least $40,000 just to get out of your mortgage. And he goes, I know, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I actually created a situation for him. I created a seller financing situation that made it easy for him. I actually took over his mortgage payments and took over his house. He obviously walked away with nothing, but he didn't walk away with having to worry about the loan anymore. The loan stayed in his name. The property went to my name, and actually went to a trust that I own, but it went to my name, and I make payments on that house. And now, obviously, I make money on the house. I rented it out for more than the payment was. It wasn't a whole lot at the time. It's obviously grown a lot now, and I'm making money on it. But he was able to do what he needed to do. He didn't have to worry about his credit score being destroyed by not being able to pay the house, and I solved his problem. So one of the things we're going to teach you at Investor Schooling, and one of the things you should always do as a real estate investor, is solve people's problems. I know when people call me and they say, hey, listen, I got a house for sale, I ask them, okay, what's going on? And they're going to tell me their situation. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe it's a situation like this guy. Maybe it's another situation. I don't know, but I'm going to find out what their situation is, and I'm going to say, look, let's talk about how we can solve this problem for you. I mean, I bought houses from people who were getting divorced, and neither one of them knew what to do. They owed more money than the house was worth. I was able to take over their payments. I bought houses from people who were afraid to show their house. So they're like, hoarders are like this, by the way. If you ever come across a hoarder, you're going to find that that hoarders don't like to show their house because they're embarrassed, right? So they look for people like us to buy them, and we'll buy them, and you don't even have to clean the house out. We'll actually take care of it for you. Most real estate agents, obviously, if you're a real estate agent, you want them to clean the house out. But we'll say, hey, let's leave everything. Don't even worry about it. And we bought houses from hoarders. So these are things we're trying to help people out. We're trying to find out what their situation is. We're looking for distressed sellers, not distressed houses. All right, listen, if you guys want to come to this event, I told you about this event before. Let me tell you about it again. It is an amazing event. We're going to be having, like I said, we're going to be having Doug Mastriano. Doug Mastriano, he's a senator. He's going to be running for governor. He's going to be running for governor in one of the most important governor's races in Pennsylvania ever. We can't believe that we have this governor that's in there now. Also, as leaders in motivation of finance, we at Investor Schooling, we're going to have him guest. We're going to have him as a guest, I should say, to learn more about how he became the great man he is. You can go to 4mmw.com to register now for the event. But Doug's story, I'm telling you right now, will mesmerize you. And I'm telling you, he's an amazing guy. Absolutely amazing guy. All right. We also have Dan Satofsky, who's going to be teaching you how to raise all the private money you'll ever need and ever want for an investment property investment project or property you can ever think of. And by the way, if you want to get some free tickets to this event, you call right now, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. And if you have a question that's a good question, I'm going to give you a free pair of tickets. These tickets go for $197, so you're going to get a free pair of tickets. We have, is that right? We have some Andrew in the Philippines? Is that right? Or is that Philadelphia just with correct? We're going to find out. Andrew, what's going on? How can we help you?
Hi there. I'm in the Philippines. I got here from Philadelphia just a couple days ago. Let me know if you can hear me or there's an echo.
I can hear you, a little echoey, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'll be a little. I'll try to be quiet then.
No.
Yeah, so I'm near Manila.
You sound like you're in a room that's echoey, but it's okay. How can we help you, man?
Well, so I was on Alan Dom's post. He's the I think council member or something along those lines.
Absolutely, yes.
And he's been pushing an agenda lately that I think a lot of people nationwide are hearing about because most people in the real estate investment community, it's like a small world, right? So, I've been seeing his posts, and it's very how do I phrase it? It's very I feel like it's pandering. I feel like he's trying to basically get the population to group together and start being anti-wholesaler, when in reality there's a whole segment of the population that does not want to sell traditionally. So I feel like, people. I mean, that's what I do in the Philippines. I mean, I hired I have callers in the Philippines. My girlfriend's Filipino, and that's why I'm here. I'm a wholesaler, I'd say. I mean, really, I like to call myself an investor, but most people would say, I'm someone who wholesales, right? So I find this a little bit irritating because I kind of want to speak up against it, and it doesn't really seem like
Alan Dom. So Alan Dom, just in case you didn't know, Alan Dom is also known as the condo king in Philadelphia. He was the leading real estate agent in condos in Philadelphia for many, many years. He's also obviously a Democrat, and he was elected to council, just like you said. And what he's doing, he's pushing an agenda. His agenda is slightly biased, though, right? Because his agenda is, hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent. I'm going to help all these other real estate agents. But by the way, this is the weirdest thing too. Just so you know, most real estate agents I come across are Democrats, and that's okay. It's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect how they do business. But it's just funny because if you think about Alan Dom, he's now pandering, just like you said, to all these real estate agents, and he's trying to get the people to stop wholesaling, right? And that's what's going on. So he's trying to come up with an agenda to stop people wholesaling. He pushed through the wholesaling license. So do you know about the wholesaling license?
Yeah, actually, I was a lot of people on like these social media groups hear about it from like way in the distance, but I was reading a lot about it. Mm-hmm. I looked at all the phila.gov websites and all that.
Yeah, right. So he pushed. So the wholesaling license is not a big deal. Hey, hold on one second, Andrew. I actually have my partner Phil is actually on the line, and maybe even he can contribute to this. Hey, Phil, what are you doing, man?
Hey, what's happening?
Where are you?
I'm working really hard today. I'm doing extensive research in the city of Philadelphia, looking for graffiti on billboards.
We got Andrew on. I don't know if you're listening, but we got Andrew on the line. We're talking about wholesaling. Hold on a second, Phil. Let me just answer Andrew's question. I wasn't sure if you wanted to contribute to this. So Andrew, so you're a wholesaler in Philadelphia. You're doing. Have you done some deals there yet?
Well, here's the thing. I've lived in Philadelphia, but I was going fully virtual actually. So I'm mainly Pensacola, Florida, Tallahassee, Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm like fully virtual. That's why it's really no big deal that I'm in the Philippines.
So real quick, the wholesaling license in Philadelphia, how it works is you register, and what do you think Philadelphia really wants? They just want your money. They want your money, so you register as a wholesaler, and now they got your money. One of the rules is you're supposed to tell the person that you're buying their house where they can get a real value for their house. In other words, if you're telling them the house is worth $50,000 and everyone else tells them it's worth $100, you're supposed to be able to tell them resources to get that $100. But you're absolutely right.
Even though you shouldn't be listening to me.
What's that, Phil?
Terry asked me what you're doing. I said he's talking instead of listening to me, which is how you would really learn.
Hey, listen,
something.
Andrew, you're really important, but obviously Phil thinks he's more important. But I think I answered your question, right?
So I want to tell you where I'm at.
Hey, Phil, mute him. Yeah. Mute him, Glenn. He's making too much noise. All right. So Andrew, one of the things I'm going to really suggest for you is you could actually go online and you could do our school online. So investorschooling.com, you could do our school online, and you could ask some questions to us online this Thursday as well. So that way you could do that as well.
Yeah.
And you could learn. Now, I'd be more than happy to give you these tickets, but I don't think you can use them. Are you in this area at all?
No, well, I'm going to be in the Philippines for about 3 months. So,
okay, so
I have one question that I think you can give me a lot of insight on. One question. I mean, so I'm on. Does it make any sense to engage on Alan Dom's Facebook posts with the people who seem to be like his army?
No,
that are telling me wholesalers are evil, or should I just?
You're going to jump up and down and say, "Don't do this, Alan. That's so wrong." Who cares?
Yeah, you have a point. I mean, it's just irritating, pretty much.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to teach you something. That the more money you make, the more haters you're going to get. And believe it or not, the more haters you get, the more money you make.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, man.
I like that.
Hey, I totally appreciate your call.
Yeah, I got to get some people to start hating me.
Yeah, I totally appreciate your call. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out to us. I think you and I were conversing on Facebook, right, earlier?
Yeah, and you're someone I've heard a lot about through social media, and so I figured, But
wow,
say, listen, don't even engage. So maybe that's what I should do.
All right, man. Appreciate
social
the
media
call.
guru.
Hey, Glenn, are you interrupting my feed here?
You're the social media guru.
Am I a social media guru? I'm a radio guru. I think I don't even know what I am. All right, put Phil back on if he's still there. You interrupted my flow,
Well, it's
man.
about freaking time.
You interrupted my flow.
How dare you leave me on hold? That's ridiculous. I'm down here working my ass off. I'm on a ship, okay?
Yeah.
I'm on a yacht, actually, and I'm down here in Philadelphia, and the yacht I'm on is called the Moshulu.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's a beautiful boat.
Yeah, and, I'm really trying to be mobile. I want to be mobile in case anybody graffitis any of the investor schooling
billboards
on I-95. I want to be able to get there quick.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if you guys heard about this.
And I'm in the brig right now. The captain is ready to take me to any billboard if there is any graffiti.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the stock option Sultan billboard on 95 was graffitied last week. Somebody graffitied it. I couldn't believe it. We were so upset about it. And we're actually going to put out a reward. I think we're going to put out a reward for $2,500 if you could tell us who graffitied this billboard, and if they get prosecuted. So we'll find out. We're going to talk about that more this week, about how you can actually get a reward of $2,500 for the person who, if you tell us who graffitied that billboard and they get prosecuted for it, because we were really upset about it. I mean, the stock option consultant was crying over it.
Well, I just want you to know that, I'm doing everything I can to help the stock option consultants.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they wouldn't let me sit on the Moshulu unless I had a few cocktails. So I decided I better comply.
So I can actually tell by this way you're saying Michelou that you had a few cocktails.
Yeah, how do you pronounce it?
How do I pronounce Michelou? I just did. Hey, Glenn, is that right?
What?
Michelou, is that how you say it?
What the hell would he know? What the hell would he know? He's working for 1210.
You know what's pretty funny, Glenn?
When Phil gets so drunk, wrong.
This is how Phil is when he gets drunk. So
you know what?
Just be careful on the dump button, man, because he might go off.
Yeah, really.
Hey guys, all I'm trying to do is help the
1210, but they paid me to be here.
This is definitely turning out to be an interesting show already.
They pay me to be here, Phil.
That's a good point. All right. So anything else you want to contribute, Phil, before you get in trouble?
Yeah, I think I better get off now before things really get ugly.
I'm joking.
Have a drink for me, man.
All right, see ya.
All right, thanks, bud.
He can give it, but he can't take it.
No, I know, right? So real quick, if you guys want to get tickets to the Freedom in Finances event, call 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and ask a great question. We're going to take a quick commercial while Glenn and I make fun of Phil on the sidelines. All right, we'll see you in a minute.
Phil Falcone here from Investor Schooling.
I think he was really offended.
My life was to be a real estate investor. If you feel the same way, all you need to do to Investor School.
Well, if I'm gone next week, you'll know why.
215-876-3002, 215-876-3002. I'll be there to help you learn this business. See you at
You think he was?
investorschooling.com.
This is Larry Steinetz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of the Biden economy? Do you want to learn how to thrive in the Biden economy? Because we're going to teach you that this Thursday night at Investor Schooling. So go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night.
I kind of want to know what the graffiti guy wrote.
So 215-876-3002, 215-876-3002. Tell me you're tired of inflation. Investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday. This is Larry Steinitz from Investor Schooling. Have you learned how to make money with stock options trading yet? This is something you want to learn. This is an amazing skill, and you can learn how to make money at Investor Schooling this Thursday night.
You ready to come back?
Sure, why not?
All right. I think we should have kept him on.
You gotta be careful, though. I'm telling you.
That would have been good radio.
Give us a call, 215-876-3002, and you will learn this Thursday stock options trading, and you will have fun. Being drunk on the radio. Drunk on the radio is a lot of fun. I definitely have to take pieces of that and play it to Phil on next time we have a meeting and show him how he was, because I thought it was actually pretty funny. And if you were listening online or if you're listening in your car, I'm hoping you got a good laugh at that. And of course, if you guys want to win tickets,
you're off mic. You're off mic, sir. I don't mean to interrupt, but something's going on. You're off mic.
I'm off mic. Am I muted? No. Am I there? Am I back? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh no. Huh. Can you hear me?
You're okay.
All right, you can hear me now. Well, so
you're good.
The whole thing all over again. Play the intro music again. All right, welcome back to the episode. I was probably muted because of Phil Falcone, right? All right. Anyway, welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. I'm Larry Steinhaus. I'm the CEO of Investor Schooling. And if you heard Phil Falcone, my partner, he was drunk before the break. Now, of course, he was at a bar. He was at the Michelin. He's enjoying his lunch with his wife. They were out doing some business today, and that's why I didn't make it in. But I was glad he called in, and we had a little bit of fun with him. I definitely want to take a recording of that and play it back to him at the next meeting, and let him know how funny he is when he's drunk. But Glenn, as you heard, Glenn, our producer over at PHT, had to definitely cut him off because we knew where this was going to go if we didn't stop. And yes, this is a live show, and that's why we have so much fun. By the way, if you want to call 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, not only can you talk to me, but you can also win a pair of free tickets. Listen, we couldn't give Andrew free tickets because he's in the Philippines. So the next person who calls, even if you have a bad question, I'm still going to give you the tickets because Andrew couldn't use them. So call 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and let's do it. All right, so you guys, I had an article up here, and I want to see if I can find it because I pushed a button and I lost it. Okay, so we talk about rates, and rates are going up. And right now, mortgage rates are getting to 5%. They moved up so fast that the market just didn't expect it. They did not expect the fact that the mortgage rates would move up this fast, which, as I've been saying, is going to be take an effect on this spring's market. Now, I've been saying to you we've been on the air for 4 years, I think now, and I've been saying to you that it should have been 2020 and 2021 that should have been the problem. 2020 and 2021 should have been the problem, but it didn't happen. So because of the COVID situation, so in 2020 and 2021 we should have had a downturn. We didn't. The now downturn is going to be this spring, where I've been saying that this spring is going to be the number one or the last good year. We had the last great year last year. We're going to have the last good year this year, and then that's it. The following year, prices are going to start going down. It's going to start to become a buyer's market. Now, we also talked earlier. I think we talked to, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I apologize. But we talked earlier, and that person said that, hey, he's afraid to buy houses right now because the prices are too high. Now, I'm still telling you there are deals out there right now, but a year from now, the deals are going to be really good. You're going to start to see it swing from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And if you know if you know techniques to buy houses that most people don't know how to buy, we're going to be able to teach you those techniques at Investor Schooling. You need to come to investorschooling.com. By the way, you can come this Thursday if you want to, investorschooling.com, sign up for a complimentary class, and you will learn how to buy houses, you will learn real estate, and you will learn how to make more money. And it's always fun. So again, 5% mortgage rates actually right now. On Friday, the rate was 4.95%. That's crazy. It was just about a month ago that I refinanced. And if you guys were listening, I was telling you guys, refinance your houses now. Refinance them now because I knew this was coming. I didn't expect it to come this fast, but I knew it was coming. I expected 4.25%, 4.5%, not 5%, and 5% is definitely here. So I refinanced 13 of my properties By the way, the reason I only refinanced 13, I don't know if you guys know this, but banks say you can only have 10 traditional loans. Now I snuck a couple in. On the radar, which was kind of cool under the radar, and I got 3 more than 10. So I financed 13 of the properties. I got 3.5% on 10 of them, and I got 4.25% on the other 3. So I did really, really well. All right, we got Tom in Langhorne. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Phil? You called me Phil? You were already disqualified for the tickets.
Okay, so my question is, I've been in real estate for 38 years. I sold all my properties 4 years ago. I had a pretty bad stroke. Retired Philadelphia police, and hold on a minute. And hold to my face. And my brother-in-law is helping me right here, and I'm trying to find out how I buy a wholesale property and how I can get them under contract with it.
So when you say a wholesale property, you mean a property that you want to buy and then sell before, right away and make money on it, or a property to own?
Well, because of my stroke condition, I would probably try to sell it to somebody else, okay. Or if I had to keep it, I would do that.
So my thought to you is, if you need a recurring income, especially if you can't go to work, why not buy properties and get rent from them, and then be able to collect the rent?
Well, I guess that would be great, but my main problem is a couple of doors I've knocked on, but my granddaughter helps me out because I stay in the car. People are suspect of you. They don't think you're going to treat them fairly, so I'm trying to need a more professional way to approach them and put it under contract until I either go to settlement or sell it to somebody else or whatever I do.
So wholesaling is a business. So you could actually hire salespeople to go out for you, and you could share the profit. You give them a commission to find it, a commission to sell it, so you can do that as well. So these are ways that you can do it. Where do you live?
I live in Langhorne, PA.
Okay, so you're real close. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right around the corner from us. Can you make it to a class on Thursday?
I will try.
Yeah,
I certainly will.
So go to investorschooling.com, sign up for a class, and we can actually have this conversation, you and I alone. We can have this conversation. By the way, I'm Larry, not Phil. And you know what, Glenn? Give him the ticket anyway, the tickets anyway, even if he insulted me and called me Drunken Phil.
You're the good-looking one, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
No, I listen to you guys. I listen to you guys every week. I love it. It's finding a couple of guys that has, to joke around about politics, and I'm not with that. And I love listening to you guys. It's like, it's just great. It's like free students with knowledge.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, I totally appreciate that. That's awesome, man. All right, so hopefully we'll see you this Thursday night. Go to investorschooling.com, and also Glenn's going to take down your phone number so we can give you some free tickets to that event. By the way, if you like our show, you will love that event because that event's going to be awesome. So you're going to get some free tickets to it. And Tom, we will call you.
I'm planning on taking my 17-year-old granddaughter. She's in real estate already.
Awesome. That's great. All right, so we'll get a ticket for you and a ticket for your 17-year-old granddaughter. I'm looking forward to it. And we got to move on. We got to move over to Bruce. What's going on, Bruce?
Hey, how you doing, Larry?
All right, man.
Yeah, just telling my story. I'm 60 years old, and I bought my first property in 1983.
Wow.
And I just sold it about 3 months ago.
And you have a heavy-duty tax problem now.
Yeah, well, I sold it. My accountant says, look, you might as well come in now and do the capital gains.
Yeah.
But you can imagine how much profit I made on it.
Yeah, sure.
Because it was called a grandma property, which you know what that means, right?
Okay.
It means I didn't do anything to it since I bought it.
Ooh.
And original kitchen, original bathroom.
Right.
So the investor came in as a cash buyer, and it actually worked out good. Now, I do have another one, which I'll probably wait until maybe 6 or 7 months to sell that.
So I'm going to tell you something. If we would have spoken, I would have bought that property, and you would have paid less capital gains the way I would have bought that property. Because most people have no idea how taxes work. I do, because I teach it, right? And people in your situation where you have the house, you depreciated the whole thing, you sold whatever you sold the house for, you're paying taxes, 100% taxes on it, and you're paying that come this April. We buy houses and we teach you to take payments on those houses over a period of time, and that lowers your tax situation substantially. So we probably, whatever tax number that your accountant says that you have to pay on that house, I could have probably cut that down by a minimum of 30%, probably half.
Well, okay, so you'd be interested in maybe my next one.
Absolutely.
It's in Philadelphia.
Absolutely, Phil and I would definitely talk to you about it. We'd definitely be able to do that. But also, why don't you come to class this Thursday? Go to investorschooling.com, sign up for class this Thursday, and pull us aside, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about that.
So it's investor.com?
Investorschooling.com.
Oh, investor. Let me write this down.
Investorschooling.com, right?
Schooling.
Right.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
And Bruce, can you make it to the event on April 24th?
Is that when it is, or?
Well, so investorschooling.com, that's going to be this Thursday night for class, but we have the event. I don't know if you've been listening. We're giving away free tickets to an event that's a $197 event per ticket. We're going to give you 2 tickets if you can make it. If not, we're not going to give you the tickets. But if you can make it, we're going to give you the tickets. Can you make it?
Yeah, April 24th. What day is that?
It's a Sunday.
Yeah, I can make that.
Awesome. All right. So Glenn's going to take your phone number, and we're going to give you a call back, and we're going to sign you up for that event. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully, we'll see you this Thursday.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Take care, Bruce. Thanks for calling. We totally appreciate you. All right. Excellent. Hey, we got just a few more minutes, so you guys need to know. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137, and you can get tickets to our event. I'm telling you, this event is going to be awesome. We're going to have Doug Mastriano there. As I said, he's a contender for governor. We're also going to have Bill Spadia, who's going to be talking about common sense. And it's amazing because sometimes I think there's no such thing as common sense anymore. And Bill Spadia is going to be talking about common sense, and you will learn so much from that guy alone. You're also going to be learning from myself. I'm going to teach you how to buy houses with no money. We're going to be talking, and Phil's going to be talking to you about buying houses with no money. We're also going to be talking about how you can buy apartment buildings. So we have Anna Kelly coming. She's going to be talking about how to buy apartment buildings with no money. We also have Dan Satofsky coming, and he's going to be talking about how you can raise all the money you ever needed to buy houses or anything else. And if you go to 4mmw.com, 4mmw.com, you can sign up for that event, or if you call in now, 855-939-1137, we will give you a free ticket. By the way, if you are calling and you're listening to a repeat of this show, so right now, today is March 26th, and it's live between 2 and 3. If you're listening any other time by that than that, and you call that number, you will reach me. And if you have a really good question, I might still give you the ticket. So 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. All right, so real quick before we go to Stock Option Sultan, I mentioned something before about private lenders and why they love to lend you money. So if you understand how private lending works, and if you want to be a private lender, let's say you have, for example, $150,000, and you want to lend it to a real estate investor such as myself or such as Phil, and we have a really good deal, and we would put you what's called a first position mortgage. So what a first position mortgage means that is if we don't pay the bill, we don't pay the mortgage, we don't pay your payment, you get to take the house away. In fact, we put something in our mortgages called a confession of judgment. And the confession of judgment means that if we don't make the payment, so if we miss 3 payments, you automatically get the house. And that's a really good way for you to lend someone money or to borrow money, to convince somebody to borrow money. So listen, if I don't make payments on this house, you're going to get the house. Now, at the same time, we also want to borrow money so that there is equity in the house. So in other words, if I'm borrowing $150,000 and the house is worth $200,000 and you're lending me money, hey, think about this. You would actually almost benefit if I didn't pay you back. So that's why if you work with private lenders and you work with private lenders properly, or if you want to become a private lender, these are the things you must learn to do. You must learn to know that the person has more risk by losing than you have by lending them. So you actually want them. I make the joke all the time that my private lenders want me dead, because if I'm dead, they get the property because I'm going to miss 3 payments if I'm dead, right? And they get the property. So we talk about that at Investor Schooling too. We talk about how to borrow money, and we also talk about how to lend money, because lending money is also an important way to make money. Listen, if you have an IRA and it's getting, 2 or 3%, now maybe you did pretty well this year because of the market last year, but don't expect that to continue. And you're getting 2 or 3% on your money, and then the broker's taking another 2 or 3% as his commission or his fee, you could lend money to real estate investors for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, get a steady check going into your IRA. So you lent the money out of your IRA, a steady check going into your IRA, and making that money that way. Most people have no idea that they could actually lend money out of their IRA instead of just investing in these IRA funds that their stockbroker told them about. Because you could, you can do all of this. You could also lend out of your Roth IRA, and we also did a presentation the other day on something called an HSA. All right, real quick, I got Jackie in Broomall. What's going on, Jackie?
Hi, how are you today?
All right.
I'm a first time caller, and I listen to your show every week. And I was just wondering, how can I go about selling a house without a real estate agent and having to pay that large commission?
So how can you sell a house without a real estate agent? So
Yes.
Your house is in good shape. You want to sell it to another retail buyer. Is that correct?
Possibly, yeah, or possibly even rent it out. I'm not sure exactly what I wanted to do, but I kind of wanted to get the word out there, but I wasn't sure exactly how to do that.
All right, so there's a couple of things you can do. I mean, you literally can sell it yourself. Believe it or not, Facebook Marketplace is one of the greatest places to list a house. But understand that you're going to get phone calls from people who may not be qualified. You're going to get phone calls from people who don't have the money. Is there a lot of equity in this house?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I hate to say it, but you might just be better off hiring a real estate agent, letting them do the paperwork for you, making sure that the buyer is qualified. It doesn't sound like it's something that you've done before. So that's what real estate agents are for.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's what real estate agents are for. I mean, obviously, I'm a real estate agent. If you want to call me too, I'd be more than happy to help you with it. But understand that's what real estate agents are for.
Okay.
So you got to pay them what they charge. Try to get the guy to do it for 5%, and then at least you're going to get something there. By the way, real quick, Jackie,
Gotcha.
Can you make it to the event on the 24th? It's a Sunday, April 24th.
Yes, I'd love to go.
All right, cool, excellent. All right, Glenn's going to take your phone number, and we're going to call you back. I'm going to get you enrolled in that. And I got to move on. I only got a few more minutes, and I got Timothy on the line. I want to take Timothy's call, and thank you for calling, Jackie. I totally appreciate it. What's going on, Timothy?
Not much, man. I just had heard about buying the houses and buying the apartment buildings with no money, so I was really interested in that.
So what's your question? Come on, make one up.
Where's the first place I start to get involved?
All right, I love it. That's a great leading question, right? So you go to investorschooling.com and you sign up for a complimentary class. Again, you come this Thursday, and we're going to teach you how to do that. So go to investorschooling.com. But of course, we're also going to give you 2 free tickets to the Freedom and Finances event. So Glenn's going to take your number. But Tim, you think you're going to show up on this Thursday?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. So Glenn's going to take your phone number, and we're going to call you back, and we're going to sign you up for that event. That'll be awesome. And right now, I'm going to go to talk a little bit about the stock market. So keep listening, man. Thanks so much for calling. All right, let me go over to the stock market because I think the stock option sultan might have just walked in. Let me see if he's here. All right, let's see.
Stock option sultan.
All right, I got some good news for you. The market did really well this week. Woohoo! I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. The Dow and the S&P are both moving up. They haven't quite made up for the whole year yet, but they're getting really, really close. The Dow was actually closed at 3481. I'm sorry, 34,861. And if I take a look at the year to date, it was it was still about 2,000 off. But I tell you what, that's not bad. That's actually not bad, especially because of the fact that I don't think the market's going to be breaking records anymore. But hey, you never know. It might happen. I mean, we also had in the last year, the highest was almost 37,000. So to be at almost 35,000 isn't so bad. A couple of good plays. If you've been listening to this show, I've been telling you to buy AAL. I've been telling you to buy CCL, and AAL closed the other day. It actually closed a penny below 17. For you guys who know what covered calls are, I had a covered call. I sold a covered call on this. I own 4,000 shares of this stock. I sold covered calls on this. I sold a 17 covered call. And when we teach covered call, we say the greatest thing that could ever happen is the day the covered call expires, which was Friday, that the stock goes 1 penny below your strike price that you could that they would take the stock away. And that's what happened to me. So I made a bunch of money on this covered call, and they didn't take the stock away, and the stock is still worth what it's worth, which is pretty awesome. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, which most of you don't, come to Investor Schooling, and we're going to teach you stock options, and we're going to teach you how to make a lot of money. Hey, imagine making 1 or 2% every week on a stock. I made 3% on this stock this week, and I didn't even sell the stock. I own this stock. Meta is also a good play. I happen to like Meta, which is Facebook, for you guys who don't know. I'm not a big fan of Facebook as much as I used to be. I used to spend a lot of time on Facebook. I still spend a lot of time on Facebook, clearly, especially if you're watching right now. You're watching us on Facebook. You've seen us here. But I got to tell you, Facebook has they basically cutting out all the conservatives. Are saying, hey, if you even say the word conservative, you're not going to be on Facebook anymore. I'm exaggerating, but it's pretty bad. But as a stock, they're a really good stock. They went down as low as 185 last year because of the nonsense, but they're back up to 225, and that's a great play. And we've been talking about that play for a long time. Also, Apple keeps moving up. Apple, I also said to you, if you were listening, I said buy Apple if it goes down below 150. It hit 149 for a second about 2 weeks ago. And if you would have bought that play, like I said, it's now at 175. That would have made you a lot of money. You would have been really, really happy. Look, at Investor Schooling, we teach stocks, we teach stock options, we teach you how to make money like you've never made in your life before. So you want to go to investorschooling.com, sign up for this Thursday's class because you're going to make a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, we heard, and you might even get to meet Tom and Andrew and Jackie and Timothy because they all said they were going to come. Hey, I want to thank Glenn Page. Glenn Page, you were awesome today, especially when we had some technical difficulties that were on our side. So thank you so much. Of course, I want to thank Mike, also our producer here, who's doing an awesome job. And hopefully we'll see you guys Thursday night, investorschooling.com.